So where are you from, Frank?
Myself, born in Pennsylvania, moved to Arizona, and just those 3 states, and then moved up here after I got married.
So you guys, I casually ran into Frank at my brother's work, and Frank proceeded to tell me some quite fascinating stories about some UFO sightings that he's actually had here in Iron County. But first off, Frank, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Been here, 57 years old. I'm an old guy, so nothing new. I've seen a lot of stuff in my life. I'm the general of the Wyoming State Militia up in Wyoming. Down here to do some recruiting and talk to some other militias down here to link them all together.
You can always recruit the UFO Fest.
Oh yeah, and UFO Fest, we're definitely going to hit them up. We all want to bring one of those down.
Everything kind of gets woven into a bigger picture, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
There's a reason for everything.
Yeah, and since you're on the UFO wise, okay, so about me, I'm a little different. Everybody else hangs around, goes out. My daughters go out and hang out at the bars and play with everybody, but nobody ever really pays attention to the skies, what's going on, unless they hear an airplane or something, they never look up. I, unfortunately, since I was a kid, have always had interest in UFOs and stuff. So when I go out at nighttime, or even if I'm driving around during daytime, I'm always looking at the skies. I look for the stuff. And because I've seen it before, so I know it's there, so I constantly look for it. And if you actually look for it, you'll see it. And I mean, not on a daily basis or such, or not continually, but if you are looking for it, you will run across it. For instance, playing with my kids in the front yard. We got them this new trampoline. We're playing on this trampoline in the front. And there's 3 of us, and we're sitting there jumping on the tramp. And after a couple minutes, they knock me down. We're playing this ball game on it, and they knock me down on my back. When I fall on my back, I look up, and probably about 5,000 feet up there, not too high, I see this round silver metallic object. Didn't think nothing of it because it was a quick glance, and just thought it was maybe an airplane or something.
And where was this at?
This was in Enoch City over here.
Enoch, so just only like 10 miles from here.
Yeah.
Not even 10 miles, like 2 miles.
Like 5 miles.
And so we're sitting there bouncing around some more. I get up, we play some more. About 10 minutes later, they knock me down again, and tackle me, and I fall on my back. And again, I see this thing, and it's still there. And I go, oh, then I kind of recognize, wait a minute, it didn't move. If it was a plane, it's still in the same spot.
That's right.
And so the kids jump on me, and and they're pummeling on me and stuff. I said, well, no, wait guys, get off, look at this. And get everybody to lay down and say, look at that. That thing was there a little bit ago, and it's still there. It hasn't moved. And so they're all sitting there looking at it. So Jamin runs in the house. I tell him to go get my binoculars and come out. And he runs in and grabs my binoculars and comes on out. And we sit there and we look at it, and it is a nice, shiny silver thing just sitting there up in the sky and not moving. And they're saying, what is it? And I said, hold on. They're all trying to grab the binoculars. And right before...
there's several eyewitnesses here.
Yeah. So there's 4 of us there all together. And
that legitimizes the story even further, though.
So he tries to grab my binoculars, and when he does, I go, whoa, wait a minute, because something was happening. And these 4 other disc, orbs, metallic things come out of it. And they came out of it, out of 4 different sides of it, 4 corners. This thing's round. And so, your listeners probably can't tell because they can't see my head movements here. But there's like 4 balls that come out of it, and they sit there and they slowly start going around it randomly. And they're kind of going around it in different shapes, like picture a daisy, with all the different leaves. And they're kind of going around like that and going in a circle around it. And then they spread out and go out, and from ground level here, you'd probably say a couple 100 yards away from it. They do a big circle around it, and then they go back into it. And it sits there for a second, and all my kids, going, whoa, what the heck is that? And then all of a sudden it kind of comes down, starts coming down towards us, and then just disappears straight up and just disappeared out of sight. I mean, just
was it fluid, or do you think it was solid metal? Did it fluctuate?
Yeah, no, it was definitely solid metal because it was reflecting the clouds and stuff off the base of it.
Okay, so what do you think it was? You just don't know.
No, yeah, that time that was the kids and I first real close up view of an actual UFO. Then we realized, whoa, man, we just saw a freaking UFO.
Okay,
that's awesome.
So you don't. There's nothing you could think of in the realm of military hardware or Air Force technology that it could have been.
No, I'm ex-military, and for the military to have something like that wouldn't make sense, because if we did have that, why aren't we using it now in any of the wars we have overseas?
So do you think it was extraterrestrial? Possibly?
Yeah, it was definitely something that wasn't from Earth, yeah.
Okay, so that's the story you told me that I was fascinated by, and that's why now everyone can hear your story, your experience. Let me ask you, what you say you've been seeing a lot of these different UFOs up around Wyoming where you're stationed.
Well, there's another one here in Cedar City.
Oh, okay. Share your experience.
Okay, my house there in Enoch, we're sitting out in the backyard with me and my girlfriend, and we see this white ball coming from the west side of Enoch. And it's kind of dim as it comes across the west side, but as it approaches closer to the city, it turned into this brilliant white. I mean, it's a white that I can't even describe. I mean, quartz halogen white, no, whiter than that even. It was a brightness that, I don't know, it wasn't blinding, but it was such a white that was such a, I mean, it's really hard to describe. It was just it's a different white than you've seen anything on the planet from any light bulbs we have here.
Like something burning or something?
Beyond it. I mean, it was a radiance, radiating from the center out. And it gets really bright and it stays over the city, and it's a real low altitude. And he's going really slow, faster than a helicopter, slower than a plane. And he comes over, and so the first thing you think, it's an airplane, okay? But there's no blinking lights. Well, there's no green light and for aft forward, and there's no red light aft on it blinking. And says, okay, well, if it's an airplane, it's an illegal airplane. But then when it comes over the house, we're all sitting there watching it, and the brightness of it never changed from the front view of it to the top view of it, or the bottom view of it to the back view of it as it left.
All lit.
And then as soon as it went over the mountain, it turned red, then it turned blue, and then just like the Flash. It left this trail of light. It just
like a meteorite.
Yeah, and
in a straight line.
And we've seen that thing probably a dozen times come over the house from different directions.
Different directions.
Different
so it
directions.
wasn't all from like Parowan Gap.
No, it doesn't always come from the west. Sometimes it'll come from the north. Sometimes it'll come from the south. And you'll say, okay, well, maybe it's Google something they got flying over, mapping the roads.
Mapping the world, right?
But it's crossing air traffic space at the wrong angles that our traffic here normally goes. Okay, so we always keep an eye out for this. So now that we always watch for it, we had a big party over there one night, and we had about 15 people out there in the back around the fire pit. And when I'm telling them about this story, and they're all saying, yeah, you're nuts, Frank. Yeah, they know freaking such thing as UFOs. And amazingly, while we were in the middle of telling them this thing came from the south. And it started coming up, and everybody just shut up, and everybody watched it. And the guy kept saying, oh, no, it's an airplane. But then when he got over here, he goes, oh, wait a minute, man, that's no airplane. And then when it turned colors and poof, did its flash and took off, everybody's going, yeah, that wasn't no airplane.
So why would
okay, well,
so
it
does
escalates.
the same thing every time.
It escalates.
But it escalates.
Okay, so about 6 months after seeing this over our house there in Enoch, we're sitting outside once in the front yard, and we're just shooting the bull. And it's about 9:50, and I remember time because I kept keeping track every time we'd see this thing. So it was around 9:50 when this thing comes again, and it comes from the west. And it's coming, and when it gets over our house here, it had a flash, like a camera flash, and then disappeared, just right there. Didn't leave a trail or anything. It's like it just, went through a wormhole or something right there. We said, whoa, that was cool. It either blew up or something happened. But then we saw another one come from the north. Immediately, a couple seconds after that one, it did the same thing. Got over to the house, had like a camera flash, poof, disappeared.
Maybe it was the same one.
No, 8 of them came from different directions, and every one of them disappeared at the same spot over top of our house. Freaked us out. We're thinking, whoa, we got a wormhole on top of our house. This is really cool. So we're sitting there, mesmerized by all these things that just disappeared over the house. But then about 10 minutes later, poof, we saw a flash, and then they come out with like a burst, kind of just like on Star Trek, where they come out at hyperspeed, you know, and then they slow down.
Yeah.
It was just like that. You'd see a flash, that ball would come flying out, and then it would go slow and then take off. 9 of them came back out and went different directions. I have no clue what the hell it was. Oh, heck it was. This might be a...
No, hey, don't worry about that. We've got about maybe 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes left.
You want to hear one from
Before they
Wyoming?
close here, so you want
to hear one from
Well,
Wyoming?
we want to hear about some of your experiences in Wyoming for sure.
Okay, Wyoming, it was last month.
Where in Wyoming is it specifically?
Evanston, Wyoming.
Okay.
And vacant, there's nothing out there, it's just a small little town. I mean, open for miles, just open property. It was a clear night. I let the dog out the backyard, and this is 10:48, I believe, because I'd been documenting this crap. And so I let the dog out, and I'm sitting out there, and every time I go outside, first thing I do is look at my watch, you know, and then sit out there while the dog's going potty, and I check the skies out while I'm sitting out there. Clear skies, you can see, because there's no light poisoning from the city out there, so you can see the sky is crystal clear. And so you got the stars sitting out here, and I see this blur over to my to the south, coming my way. It's kind of phasing, you know. I said, oh, cool, you know, I'm seeing a stealth aircraft or something from the military. And as it gets closer, the fuzziness of it kind of stabilizes, and then the perimeter of it is a triangle, and there's like 4 lights down each side of this triangle as it comes over. And I'm looking at it, and I called for Brandon real quick. I said, Brandon, come out here. There's, you know, stealth aircraft, something cool out here. And so he's trying to make his way out of the house, and this one's moving a fairly good stance, and its altitude is fairly low also. And but by the time he gets outside, it's over the house and it's gone. We can't see it no more. And so I document the time and everything of it. About a week later, I'm out there again. I take the dog out, and I try to go out at the same time. Okay, this is what time I saw it that time. I'm gonna go out and try and hit it again at this time. So I go out there again about 10:30, so I can wait out there in case it comes early or anything. Sure enough, but this time it comes from the north. And this time I'm prepared, you know, getting a picture of it and everything. I got my camera with me, and I got a spotlight with me.
Did you capture a picture?
Yeah, it was too dark. I got a stupid phone that doesn't do anything in the dark. But I got my spotlight. So it starts coming from the north, and it's real low, fairly low altitude this time. I see the distortion. I go, oh, there it is, it's coming. And so I hit it with my spotlight, because it's such a low altitude, I figured, you know, I'd be able to get a reflection or something off of it. When I hit it with that freaking spotlight, the rear side of it, okay, you got this triangle, the point is facing me, and it goes out into a triangle like that. The middle of the back of that triangle opened up, and it came into a straight line all the way across. And I'm saying, no, okay, no, this is not no airplanes or nothing, because it would have had to have been probably 50 to 100 747s to make the width that this thing made. And the line wasn't perfectly straight, you know, they're kind of staggered. And so I flashed my light at it twice there and stuff, and then it closed back up into a triangle and kept going. I said, I'll be damned. It acknowledged that I saw this sucker. And
it was like an intelligence.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed.
So
like,
what I'm trying to think of is, so this thing was not obviously a solid triangle. It's more of a bunch of orbs flying in a triangle shape.
In formation or something.
Yeah, and they were able to break formation when they acknowledged that I could see them, and then go back into formation as they went over.
Was it Marion Mechanical, or choreo, more like choreograph?
No, it wasn't like, you know, somebody hit a switch and, you know, they opened smoothly. They all randomly moved out of position and got into the straight line.
So it's kind of sporadic,
yeah,
chaotic.
Yeah, it'd be more like trying to line up cue balls on a table, you know, and get them all. They would do it unevenly and stuff as they went. And so that, I don't know if it's separate orbs or if it is a solid object, and the lights themselves, you know, are movable because the whole bottom of it's covered. So I'm still trying to think. I want to shoot it next time it comes over and see if I hear it tink.
Let me ask you one final question. So you've had all these experiences. Do you think, like, you know, how do you quantify all this when you look at the big picture? Do you think we are being visited by extraterrestrial life?
I don't want to
jump to
a conclusion whether it is our military or whether it's alien beings, because I haven't seen any beings yet. So at this point, it's just what it is, a UFO. It's an unidentified flying object until I can get substantiated evidence of a bullet ricocheting off of it, or get one to crash in the field and actually find one in the woods that's landed or something to crawl up on. I can't really say what it is.
Well, that being said, what do you think happened in Roswell back in 1947? Do you think it's a cover-up, or do you think there was actually something that...
No,
what's your opinion of that?
I was in the military, and I know how the military reacts to things, so I can say beyond a doubt that Roswell was a definite crash of an object out there that they went and covered up and put in there.
We don't know if it's like the Third Reich or Russian military technology, or maybe it was.
Well, you're getting into
a
a different avenue there, because the Third Reich and Germany stuff was doing some major research, trying to find out who they were themselves. I mean, even trying to get up to Antarctica and take Antarctica over to find out where that big hole was going.
There's rumor that the Nazis had underground base in Antarctica. Do you think there was a bunch of hot air?
Nope. Not at all. Okay, I don't rule things out. I keep an open mind on everything. If somebody says there's something that's plausible, okay, well, it's plausible until it's proven otherwise. Neither one has been proven, whether it's ours or whether it's alien.
Yeah.
Until that time, it's up to us to keep our eyes on everything and
keep our eyes on the skies, right?
I can pretty much, though I like to keep an open mind on it, I can pretty much say it's not ours, because it would be stupid for it to be ours and not be using it in the wars and the conflicts going on around the world. So for that reason alone, you can say, no, it's not ours.
Well, thanks for sharing your experiences with us.
And if I shoot one down, I'll get a hold of you. I'll give you the first rights to the pictures.
That'd be awesome.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few months.
It'll be really interesting to see what happens if I actually shoot one. If I disappear and you don't hear from me anymore, well, it's either NSA getting me for being in the militia, or one of the UFOs grab me for shooting them. So.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Frank.
We appreciate it.
It was a good conversation.